So I'm out shopping today, and it's reminding me to talk about Touchpoint Cycles. I get asked the question all the time of what our philosophy is for marketing and how we break it down. And the simplest form of marketing is a touch point. So today let's go through what the cycle looks like and how the cycle can affect your brand and affect your business. Touchpoint is every single time your brand comes in contact with a customer. Doesn't matter if it's someone telling you about the product, doesn't matter if it's an advertisement, if someone walks by it in the store. Every single time your product touches a person, touches an audience, it's a touch point. What brands do is they run these inbound and subconscious touchpoint cycles. So throughout the entire year, they show your products through advertisements, through social, through commercials, through every single piece of content that they put out. They make you remember their product. If you're looking for that product, or if you have a need for a product at that specific time, audiences go to the brand that's at the top of their mind and they go purchase that product. So typically, I always use the grocery store analogy to try to explain touch points. Every single week you go to the grocery store, and every single week you go up and down the aisles and you engage with all the products. You have touch points with all the products. Then the next time you come to the grocery store, you turn the corner and right there, the product you were looking for, the product you were creating is on one of the end caps. Every single week walking up and down the aisles is subconscious, and when it's on the end cap, you've got your inbound. So in more stores, in retail locations, the end caps and the point of sale aisles are always inbound touch points. They're trying to convert you into making the sale right away. If you need one of those products and you see them, then you may grab them and make the purchase right there. Essentially, every single time you come in contact with a product, a brand, anytime you use anything, it's a touch point for that brand and for that product. The biggest brands in the world use these subconscious inbound cycles a little bit differently. They provide you with all this value and they adhere to their brand guidelines and their brand campaigns all year long. And they engage you in a way that keeps their brand on the top of your mind. Then they go and they run an inbound touch point. They try to drive a conversion. And when they do that, if their brand's on the top of your mind and you need that product, then you go and purchase that product. All right, I'm going to take you through what a typical subconscious inbound cycle will look like, creating subconscious touch points that lead to an inbound post or touch point. Let's take a look. After that, this cycle will continue, and in its most basic form, that's what branding is all about. Creating all of these touch points with your customers that lead to inbound conversions and lead to people wanting your product and keeping your product at the top of their mind. All right, let's do a quick recap. Touch points are the most basic form of marketing. It's any touch point that you can create with your customer. Anytime your product or services is mentioned or is seen by a customer, that's a touch point. And it's broken down into two separate categories, subconscious and inbound. Inbound posts are the typical old school marketing. It's sales trying to drive a conversion, trying to drive a direct ROI. However, they create all these subconscious posts, all these touch points with their customers. And it's all about offering value. It has nothing to do with driving a sale on every single brand awareness campaign and every single time you put a touch point out. Provide value upfront. Value that is provided to a client or audience is always going to translate into value for your brand. When you put them together, they engage in these subconscious inbound cycles where you go through a whole bunch of subconscious posts or touch points and come back to an inbound one. And the top brands in the world do this all of the time. So on your next marketing campaign, think of how you're going to create subconscious and inbound touch points. Think how you're going to create value for your brand and value for your audience. Put that all together and you have the basic philosophy for creating that next campaign. It's going to help you to plan it out, process your content, and create powerful content that's going to make a difference for your brand. That's a wrap on another episode of #TalkToJV. Thanks, everyone.